Hello and welcome to Cuesta Sports Monthly, an in-depth look at Cuesta athletics. I'm Peter Schuler, and this month's show will visit with the water polo teams, and also joining us will be Cuesta Athletic Director Bob Mariucci. Starting right now from the women's water polo team, a couple of Aqua Jocks, we have Faith Archibald and Piper Flugie. I'd like to welcome Faith and Piper to Cuesta Sports Monthly. How are you guys doing so far today?
Doing great. How are you
Recovering
doing?
from early morning practice?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Right now, the team's out to a hot start, 12-1. You guys are coming up to a really big tournament coming up, the 20th Rabobank Invitational. It's one of the premier tournaments in the state this year. It's not going to be held at Cuesta College, so it's going to be kind of a road trip for you guys down in Santa Barbara. How has it been this year, pool down, and kind of doing the traveling all the time?
It's a little rough.
Yeah.
We would like a van, and we haven't gotten one, so it's a little rough on money, but it's working for us.
Practicing off-site is a little bit
Yes.
tougher than you thought. And then
Yes.
how's that affecting you on the road trips? Because we haven't had a home game here this year, I guess, unless you count a tournament at Morro Bay.
It's not bad. I mean, we're just driving back and forth, so nothing big.
All right. You guys both coming back after freshman years. Part of your year was eclipsed by an injury. Last year you were behind All-American goalie and Mia Viss. So how has this year changed for you guys both now that you're healthy, now that you've got the starting spot?
For me, it's been a lot better because I've been able to start my season out strong rather than with a disability, and I feel a lot better this year, and it's been pretty good.
Now, you came into the year, we also on Cuesta's team is Gabby Fabry, who was one of the state's leading scorers last year. This year, you're the state leading scorer, and she's still on the team. How's that transition, having you kind of take over the scoring a little bit more?
I think that Gabby and I are working very well together. She has been helping me out, and I've been helping her out, and I don't think it's been a big issue at all.
Now, Piper, you've also stepped into the starting role. We also have a freshman goalie coming in this year, Tina Bell. How's it been for you now that you're kind of in the veteran spot, so to speak?
I've taken on a lot more leadership and have stepped up my game a lot in the water, so I don't know what else to say.
Now, is it as must be nice having another person who's going to push you as much as you got to push Mia last year, right?
Oh, yes, very much so.
Now, in a position like Faith plays in the field, there's 6 field players, there's 1 goalie. How does that change the dynamic between you two as it would be with Faith, where there's multiple players in it at all times?
It's definitely a competition at all times, but it's also a very close friendship because we do not communicate with the field players as much as we do with each other. So.
Okay. Now, Faith, what do you think about you came out of Atascadero High School nearby. This is your second year. What do you feel about your development here at the collegiate level, and what's the differences kind of for you coming from a local high school to?
Yeah, I feel that it's been a huge difference because I didn't start playing water polo until my freshman year, and there's a lot of schools that have had developmental programs before their freshman year, and so I think going to the collegiate level has definitely stepped up my game, and it has changed water polo for me in many ways.
Now, also, but coming from a local high school and coming in where right now I think about half the team, if I look at the roster, is from the area, and the other half is from outside the area.
Yeah.
How do you feel you kind of mix in with people from out of the area, and does that help your game, or does that?
I think it's really beneficial to all of us because we have a lot of different talent and different playing styles, because a lot of the girls who I actually went to school with, we know how each other plays and we know the game. And then there's girls who come from different schools who know different talents, and it's really cool to be able to mesh and put all of our talents together.
Now, Piper is one of those students from out of the area and from a different school, coming up from the San Diego area. What is kind of the challenges for you as a student athlete from out of the area, and how has that informed your game coming in and playing with all these different people?
You do see the connections with the people who've played together in the past, but our team meshes together so well this year that I can really tell who's from in the area and who's from out of the area because of our different talents. They just mesh so well.
Now, what are some of the things that brought you up to Cuesta College in San Luis Obispo from San Diego?
It's just so beautiful up here, and you guys we do have a wonderful water polo program that I wanted to join, so that's really what brought me up here.
Okay. I'm glad that we also had your cousin was on the team last year. Was that one of the factors too?
Oh, yes, of course.
Now, what's probably the most important thing you've brought back from last year's playoff appearance? What is the kind of thing that, the team's done well so far the last few years, won at least 20 games last 5-6 years in a row, been a state scholar team, all those things. Are those the scholarship and the athletics kind of things that are important to you guys as you talk as a team?
Yeah, I feel like everybody's been pretty good with working on their school and putting everything together.
I think we are great at it all. Gosh.
Well, okay, one of the things sometimes goalies are known for being a little bit quirky and a little bit different, having the ball thrown at them all the time, having to put themselves in danger. What are the things, sort of things that you see? Do you see the kind of description working with Piper at all?
Yeah, Piper's a little goofy.
Oh, Peter.
How about a rivalry between the field players and the goalies? Have we talked about that?
We're both goalies. We're both a different breed here.
Well, this week we had Piper was the ESPN 1280 Athlete of the Week after you guys won the Cabrillo tournament. One of the things that was in there was Piper also scored 2 goals in a game. What's it like having Piper out in the field with you, away from her cage?
I think it's the best thing ever. I get to see Piper in a different element and see her talents, because she's a pretty good goalie, and it's really cool to be able to see her do other things as well.
Piper, how are you feeling about that? I know that you were yelling that you were tired of swimming a few times, but
Oh, I missed my home a lot. I do not like that at all. I'm not a swimmer. It's okay.
but you did score 2 goals in the game.
I did. I tried my hardest, and I did score 2 goals, but I like my home a lot.
Okay, well, I'm sure you'll get back in the goal soon enough. I did not realize it was that traumatic for you, but it was very congratulations on your acknowledgement as ESPN Player of the Week. Okay, I think most important with a group of diverse as you have 16 players on the team, and you have those things. But what are kind of the things you do as leadership? What are the things that you've kind of bring to the table to help that team come together as a group?
Oh man.
I try to keep our defense in line as much as possible, and what else do I do? I just yell at them a lot to get in their spots.
Okay, well,
defense.
coming up with the big tournament this week, what are you guys kind of looking forward to for the season? What's your outlook? What do you think about the team going forward? The possibilities of this team?
I'm very excited. I feel like we have some extremely talented girls, and I'm very lucky to be on this team, and I've never been on a team as talented as this one.
And you, Piper?
I feel very confident in us this weekend, as long as we bring our A game.
All right. Well, that does it for women's water polo. Heading off to a big tournament, the 20th Rabobank tournament here at Cuesta College, although this year in Santa Barbara. Coming up next, we'll have a chat with the men's team with Zachary Tucker and Jack Felstead.
This program is produced by Cuesta Broadcasting. Start your radio, TV, and film career at Cuesta College.
We're back on campus and back in the water with Cuesta Sports Monthly. I'm Peter Schuler, and we're now joined by Zachary Tucker and Jack Felstead of the men's water polo team. Welcome, Jack. Welcome, Zach, to Cuesta Sports Monthly. You guys are off to a hot start right now, 10-2. 1-0 in conference. Got a big tournament coming up again this weekend, going up to Delta. Almost about halfway through the season. How are you guys feeling so far? Zach, your first season on the team, leading team in the scoring. How you feeling?
Feeling great, honestly. I mean, so far with our team, very young, but we're actually improving every day. Every day, everything, learning new. It's been great, honestly.
And you guys have been playing a lot of tough teams already and succeeding, so that's got to be a pretty nice feeling for you right there.
Especially after winning 2 games in double overtime already.
Right, the overtime games are like 10 games.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
So that's very nice. Now, coming in with this group, this is a really diverse young group here. You guys have got from all over the place. One sophomore, Jack, you're back after some injuries and stuff. How's it been for you back in the water after a couple seasons?
It's been great. I mean, it's nice. All the guys, we get along real well. We have a real tight-knit group and stuff. And it's nice to able to let the young guys know how it's going to be and what Marsh expects and whatnot. And it's nice being an older guy on the team. But I like all the young guys. All the new guys are great. We all get along well, like I said. Yeah,
so you're already kind of, you're in your first season, but
yeah, I know this. I know
but you're kind of the veteran already,
right? Yeah.
So, now how's it feel? Now, but I mean, we talk about some of the talent. Jack, you were Fresno County Player of the Year out of I'm forgetting which school right now. Golden West High School. I just don't like saying Golden West. That just does not work for me. And then you were SLO County Player of the Year last year, so it gives you an idea of some of the talent you guys have. What are some of the things where you look at your team and go, this is something we can really do well at, or something we can improve at right now?
I'd say that our length is a big thing that we have, and our size. And Marsh does a good job of recruiting talent, and we get a lot of good players year in and year out. And of course, with the Marsh system, we swim a lot, so swimming is one of our big strengths as a team. I'd say. Now,
I asked Piper and Faith in the last segment, but some of the struggles you guys. I mean, again, Cuesta's pool's down, which is great for a freshman team right now. We talked about they're having a lot of freshmen on their team. They're more freshman heavy than sophomore. You guys are more freshman heavy than sophomore. The difference. What do you think that's going to build with the team having to go through those struggles right now, and how well you're doing right now? And then looking down the road next year.
I mean, it doesn't. It's kind of bothering. It kind of bothered us in the beginning, the driving back and forth. Yeah. But in the end, we still get our training hours in. We've still been improving every day in both those pools. That's all that really matters. But either way, we cannot wait till the new pool comes in.
It's kind of one of those things that helps bond the team, where it's kind of the tough fan rides and all those things.
We want to be able to have our own tournament instead of
right.
It's obviously a struggle, and it's a pain to go out tomorrow and practice at night and stuff.
Oh yeah.
But like you said, it definitely brings us a little bit closer.
And at the home tournament in Bakersfield this last week, so that was always a struggle. But coming up this Wednesday, you have an actual home game with Citrus. You get another shot at the conference. You already 1-0 in conference after beating Santa Monica. Now you got Citrus coming up here, so that's a real barn burner coming up. Citrus has been playing very well the last few years. Right. Kind of coming in here, and with so many people, you're from the area, you're familiar with the area. Does that automatically kind of put you in a kind of a leadership role, or are you just kind of
I'm just kind of out there. If you need, wherever you need me, put me out there. I'll do it the best I can. Kind of like that, around that area.
Now, Zach, I remember watching you as a referee in high school. I remember talking to John about you, just seeing a big, strong kid with a rocket arm and all those things. How has your transition been going from the local high school where you played half your games in a shallow deep pool? How's that transition been for you going against? Long Beach is, a lot of those guys have international experience. How's that change been for you?
Seems like the game's totally different compared to the shallow deep pool, and from high school to college. Because I realized all the guys in college are smart. They know what to do with the ball. They have the great water polo IQ. In high school, they were just still rusty and all that. But in college, they're all ready to go. And I got to get my mindset ready to beat just like those guys.
Yeah, there's nobody that you can really, back off on and take advantage of it anymore.
Exactly. If one little mess up, goal, or something bad. So I just got to get ready.
And with a big team, that's not a good place to be.
Exactly.
You don't want to be in the doghouse. Now, Jack, you came from a strong program. Your dad's a coach.
Yeah.
but he also played at Cal, and we'll
Yeah.
just go into this a little bit. But he did win part of three national championship teams. He lets you know that all the time. What kind of things does having a dad who's a coach and dad who's had those experiences? How does that help you with your game?
It helps a lot. I mean, I started playing polo when I was really young, and it's been a blessing, like having my dad always wanting to coach me and like bring me up in polo and stuff. And it's just been nice that and I fell in love with the game when I was really young as well. And it's just been nice to be able to play my whole life so far.
Now, was it a good thing for you that he was coaching at a different high school than where you were? Or?
I mean, yeah, at the time, but we're cool now.
Now, obviously, Jack was kind of born in the game. What brought you to the game, Zach?
Well, my freshman year, because my town was really big in football, I was actually thinking of playing football, and then I realized I had a knee injury. So my mom was like, "Hey, might as well try water polo. You can try it out." So I played it first day, and I loved it. I was like, you know what, I'm going to stick to this sport. I did baseball my first 2 years also, but then my junior and senior year,
that's that big arm we were talking about, right?
Yeah, exactly. My junior and senior year, then I moved to swimming because I knew I had to get conditioned for the game. But yeah, just starting since a freshman.
And now you're doing a lot of swimming, huh?
Oh,
you're loving that swimming.
Oh yeah, especially the swimming.
Now, coming in this year, what do you guys see for the team this year, and how far do you guys think you guys are going to be able to go? At 10-2 right now, 1-0 in conference.
Right.
You've gotten a chance to see some of those other teams.
Mm-hmm.
You feeling pretty confident all the way through?
Yeah, I think tomorrow's going to be a big indicator of where we'll be in conference and stuff. LA Valley's good this year, so that's going to be another tough game. And we've seen some of the bigger teams already. But yeah, I think that we'll be right there like we always are in playoff top 4 mix for the South and top 8 at least. I think we have a solid shot.
Yeah, there's not putting any pressure on you guys, but we talked about that was the 40th year of the Cuesta Invitational, always a prime tournament, or coming last weekend. Team has made 39 straight postseasons.
Oh, yeah.
Is that something you guys? I mean, going into every season, I know John expects to make the playoffs. Is that something that the team itself expects going on there?
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's a heck of a streak.
We expect to make the playoffs this year.
Definitely.
Yeah, we expect to make it every year, honestly. But this year, obviously, a lot of the guys are new, so they don't understand some the tradition we have and like you said, the streak and whatnot. But so for them, it's not really too much pressure, I don't think. But I think we have a good shot at making the playoffs, especially if we do well tomorrow night.
All right. Now, what's the best thing about playing for Coach Marsh? That's kind of what I want to know. Coming in here from, I know he's a character, but I want to see one of those things. What's been the biggest impact on you, Zach, and then Jack the last couple of years? I know you get to be his whipping boy when you're in here.
Literally, every situation in the game, he'll know what to do, where to do it, when to do it. It amazes me how he realizes that before anyone else does. And so every play, even if you're misplaced just by a little bit, he'll notice that, get you on it, and get you ready for that next.
All right. Well,
for
he'll
the
get
next
you in
play.
place the rest of this year. Jack, thanks for joining us. Zach, thanks for joining us. That does it for men's water polo. As the Cougars go on chasing their 40th straight playoff berth. When we come back, we'll have Cuesta Athletic Director Bob Mariucci.
Cuesta.edu. Television, radio, broadcast, communications. Explore the world of digital communication and tap into your creative genius. Television, radio, broadcast, communications.
This is your boy, the DUI, and you're listening to KGUR.org.
Your digital future is at Cuesta College right now. Log on to Cuesta.edu now for enrollment dates and class information.
Don't put the boom in the shot. Blowing it, bro.
Cuesta.edu.
Cuesta Sports Monthly is back, and we are joined by Cuesta Athletic Director Bob Mariucci. Bob, welcome back to the show. This is your annual kind of meet and greet here as we kick off the 2018-19 school year. everybody's kind of off and running so far. Cross
Yeah.
country's got the conference preview meet coming up. Soccer's an amazing 7-1 to start the season. The water polo season teams both where they're supposed to be, 11-1 for 12-1 for the women and 10-1
Yeah.
for the guys.
Yeah.
And wrestling and volleyball is just starting to pick up the pace here.
Yeah, great,
So-
great start. Yep. And thanks for having me on this kickoff thing. And you're right, Pete. It's like end of September already, and then you look back at our teams, how they've performed thus far, and it's pretty fun and amazing. And your team is rolling well, and so yeah, proud of all of our teams right now. So
Yeah,
as we get into October.
and especially I think with the water polo teams, we were talking with both teams today, the struggles of having the pool down for the year,
Yeah.
but how they've seemed to have, almost has helped them come together as a group quicker than maybe the years before,
Yeah.
because they had these combined challenges. So
Yeah.
it's kind of an interesting thing. Some teams might struggle, but these two
Yeah.
teams have blossomed.
Yeah.
What are you kind of seeing out there with the sports programs out there? What's kind of the new thing for this year for you?
Well, like you said, Pete, and people may or may not know if they saw the beginning of the show. I'm sure your water polo players talked. We are putting our new pool in. Our pool is being renovated, and so that means your teams are off campus and practicing at Morro Bay and Arroyo Grande, and so that's been a challenge. I mean, that's but like you said, maybe it allows those kids to focus a little bit more on their studies and getting back to campus and so forth. But that's been different, and after a year we'll be done with it, and we'll have a brand new pool and facility, which will be great. And people may not know either, but the renovation project is all in our area with our locker rooms and our offices, and so we've been disjointed a little bit. Yeah, your office is a mile away from my office, and so long story short, I think the coaching staff, and particularly the water polo, you and John have made that work, and like I said, it's off to a great start. That's the fun part about it. That's how you look back and say, sometimes maybe with all that disjointedness, you might not do as well, but keep it up.
I do miss you not running down the hall to see me.
Yeah, I do miss you. This is the first time we saw each other all week. So
yeah, and so the pool's doing it this year, and then you're going to have the same struggle next year with the gym, probably, right?
Just had that meeting. So next May of 19, after graduation, we're going to take out our gym floor and replace our gym floor. That was through the bond measure, which is very much needed. And so the gym will be down all next summer and it'll tad into the fall.
The gym floor is all cemented at this point. That cushion is completely gone on that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so you really have to do a lot of running right now, and then your offices are out right now. So some of those things are really changing. So with all these changes right now, what are the kind of things that you're focusing on? Is it just expand? Are you running around as much as you think you would be?
Well, now, maintenance and grounds is running as far as the production and all the construction and so forth. So, ours, I guess, has to do with you coaches, especially, again, water polo and swimming off campus.
Yeah.
That's tough on you guys to make the transportation and your student athletes. But like I said, if you look at it, everybody's still working hard, and volleyball's in the gym and wrestling's working. All of our fall sports are off and going, and so basketball starts up next October 1st with their first official day of practice, and so it's kind of going fast. And
it's already October.
But you said this too. You alluded to this with your student athletes that were here. There are a lot of young kids on those water polo teams. And so next year they'll have nice new facilities, and the sophomores and.
They'll be spoiled next year, I think.
yeah.
So with this changes, when having to rely on the community and the Arroyo Grande High School and Morro Bay High School and some of the local high schools to help us get through this transition time. We're talking about some of the importance of not only the help from the high school but the community to help Cuesta athletics.
Well, in athletics, you're always reaching out for whatever to the community. We have such a gracious community for support of our college and athletics in particular, and that relationship with the high schools has to be good too. Like you said, Morro Bay has been very great with us to allow us to practice at their facility and host our games there and so forth. So whatever it might be, there's a lot of new things happening. They just put a beautiful new pool in, which is great. We'll have one in. San Luis has some renovations coming up soon. So that relationship with your local high schools and colleges is important. So, and we've seen that throughout this time right now. Really good relationships, and we appreciate all the support that we've been given. So.
Yeah. So it's great to have that community support.
Oh, yeah.
Help us get through. But just in the athletics, I mean, there's already those set-in challenges right there. But coming down the road with athletics, statewide, what are some of those things that we're seeing statewide that might be challenges or changes that are coming down that will affect us?
You went to that beach volleyball? With California community colleges, there's always sports that are emerging and developing, and women's beach volleyball is one that's been a hot topic, and a lot of schools are adding that, and we have a very good volleyball program, which might be a nice transition for those athletes to the spring semester, which is beach volleyball season.
Next year with the gym down, that might be the best place to practice.
yeah. But anyway, we are always supporting the teams we have. You know what I mean? But so there's always a little bit of discussion on what our students looking to do, and maybe that beach volleyball is one that we can maybe consider down the road. So we'll see.
We talk a lot about Cuesta athletics and some of the things we talked about with Piper and Jack Felstead, who were both coming in from out of the area, and then we had Zach Tucker and Faith Archibald here earlier, who were both local students, and some of the things, the experiences that Zach and Faith had coming in as local students, what they expected and didn't expect at a local community college, whereas Jack and Piper Flugie both came up from out of the area and what they expected here. Talk about the importance of Cuesta College and what it means to athletes and the community as a whole with how we draw people from outside the area.
Yeah, I'll just say this, because I had my two daughters that have gone through the system, and I actually had a whole new perspective on what I do with my job and our programs. I mean, number one, we have great coaches here. I mean, across the board, you know what I mean? And we do. Every sport we have, very proud of what we produce. And for the student athletes here, that's what we live, that's what we do our job for, those kids. So whether they're from out of the area or local or your own daughter, it doesn't matter. You know what? We really do a great job with our student athletes, and I'm more proud about that than anything. And when you talk to your sophomores here, whether from out of the area or they leave here with the tremendous experience and say, I wish Cuesta was a 4-year. I would spend 2 more years here if I could. I mean, we really do a good job with that, and I'm proud of that, and you know that, and you see that, and when you interview kids on in this show, they'll say how proud they are of what they do here.
Yeah, we talked briefly with both teams about how they're scholar athletes and stuff like that. We've had more scholar athletes and scholar teams than any other school in the state. Somebody's just been put in the charge of that program for the Western State Conference. Was that kind of a thing where you feel like your team was, now that you're in charge of that program for the conference, is that something that came along with our success?
Maybe, and Pete's alluding to the fact that, at the end of every year, we get to nominate scholar athletes and scholar teams. And Cuesta has always had the teams with highest GPA in the whole entire state. Student athletes have been awards athletes of the year. So I'll be honest with you, that's probably the most important thing. One of the most important things we do as our accomplishments is making sure those kids are succeeding in the classroom. And if we get recognized for that every year, so be it. I'm proud of that. You are. And let's keep it going.
Absolutely. So Cuesta athletes, not only great in the classroom, but also great on the field. And that's going to wrap it up. Thank you very much, Bob Mariucci, for joining us. That concludes today's edition of Cuesta Sports Monthly. We'd like to thank today's guests, Bob Mariucci, Faith Archibald, Piper Flugie from women's water polo, Zachary Tucker, and Jack Felstead from men's water polo. And, of course, remember to stay up to date on Cuesta Athletics on the Cuesta website. Just go to the Cuesta Athletic website for more information or call Cuesta's athletic department. This show is produced at Cuesta College by Cuesta College's Film, Television, and Electronic Media Department as part of the Cuesta TV project. I'm Peter Schuler, and from all of us here at Cuesta Athletics, thanks for watching, and thank you for your support of Cuesta College.